Yeah, welcome back to the firehouse for some more tales from the firehouse, as it was. We are sitting here in the house of fire with Rasta the cat. Have you got Rasta the cat on camera there? Mario sitting on the left hand side, as it was. Because Rasta is a cat who like a tail or two, don't you, Rasta? So, in fact, I was explaining to Rasta earlier on today how we managed to actually depart from the mine as a fire lion, as it was. Because I don't know if you was watching any of the previous video about the riddle and Mrs. Paradox, but if you watch any of those, you will hear the story of the travel through the mine. So this was how we finally, this part of the story is how we finally depart from the mine to reach firehouse, as it was then. You know what I mean? So departing from the mine then, if you was following the story before, but if you wasn't following the story then, the region that we had reached in the mine by this time, we had already had the insight of the owl, and the owl allows us to locate wisdom. You know what I mean? And wisdom now didn't actually know the way to firehouse. In fact, wisdom was hesitant, and well, Fearless wasn't hesitant, but the thing is, Fearless don't know the way. This is where not even fearlessness can help you, if you know what I mean. So we was in a predicament, but wisdom says there's a train that run both sides of the border, like a cross-border terrorist, as I would put it then. And this train was called knowing. And as according to wisdom, knowing run right through the mine, even in the lower levels of the mine. You can always get on board the knowing train at any time, but he says for some particular reason, no one ever too much bother with knowing. But he says beyond his reach, like wisdom was saying, it is actually knowing that is at the outer flank of the mine, as it was. Not only is knowing on the outer flank of the mine, it patrol the regions of the spirit as well, as according to wisdom. So the only way, like I say, we was going to get there was to go and see knowing. You know what I mean? Because it was after meeting knowing now that Fearless realized that it is being fearless cannot, because knowing is a bit beyond fearless, if you know what I mean. I don't know how he works like that, but he's not bothered. Fear doesn't concern knowing, you know what I mean. It's you need fearless when lower down in the to reach the regions of wisdom and all. But beyond wisdom, not even fearless don't work there. I don't know how it works like that. It looks as if knowing is a higher form of innocency, and there is absolutely no fear in that form of innocently knowing something. So it is a regions beyond fearless and wisdom and all that. So we did went to see Mr. Knowing, as it was, and let him know that we was intending and going to firehouse. And of course he was glad to oblige, because like he says, he's a train that no one hardly ever use. And we was like rare soldiers who wanted to go to firehouse. You know what I mean? Because as according to knowing, there was things beyond his knowing. If you know what I mean. And he was saying, wait, that is strange. Knowing beyond. Anyway, it was knowing that was the train that we used to get to firehouse. And then at the outer fringes of firehouse, we met, I think this who was it? Mr. Insight. Yeah, Mr. Insight as wisdom was explaining now is he's a bit beyond the range of wisdom, if you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Mr. Insight does have a look at what is. And what is even a bit further than Mr. Insight. If you know, it gets a bit complicated when you arrive in Firehouse, as it was. But that's how it worked down there. You understand what I mean? What is an insight? So we was now acquiring insight in Firehouse. So insight was saying then that down here everything is one, and everything is seen as one. So as according to insight, the one, don't know if these people know about the one anyway, but the one, yeah, divided into two. So one was the spirit, as you would just say, just for the figure of speech, just say one was the father. So the spirit was the father, yeah, and the other split now turned into the mind, and the mind was the mother. Feminine. Have you heard of those principles of positive and negative, male and female? So it run even around in Firehouse as according to insight. And the higher, because insight is looking real deep, you know, far into things than just, I think insight deal with a galactic kind of business, if you know what I mean. A deep range. He's got a very good insight, way down there. So as according to him anyway, Mr. Insight, that this one went into two, and that what men are calling the mind then is actually the mother. You know that you know, like how a mother give birth to things. You know what I mean? So the mind is the mother, as it was. So of course to one have to emerge from one mother, you know what I mean? Hence the fact that insight was saying human beings are placed in the mind, because that's where you are supposed to give birth from, because that is your mommy. As according to insight anyway, who knows if it's true? Well, I think the Fire Lion agree with him, because such a thing can be achieved then. You can look at it that way, you don't have to. But as according to insight, that is how it is throughout the universe then. So we're now looking at the mind as I think inside say these things are energies, you know. Yeah, energy, yeah, you don't have to, because they're not a person, you know what I mean? Well, it doesn't mean because he's not, I mean the sun is not a person, you know what I mean? But it's have its uses. You would agree with that, won't you? So it's the same when we're dealing with the mind, our mother, as it was, as according to insight. You know what I mean? That is, we are placing the mind, and as according to insight, that this is where we have to emerge from. So I'm saying to insight, well, I never have to say nothing to insight, because insight know everything already. So insight is the reason why people don't emerge from the mind. It's because of their behavior. You know what I mean? So they were, and he also says that if anybody emerge from the mind, they think it's a miracle or some big deal. You know, when they are supposed to emerge from the mind anyway. You know, so as if there is some wiseness about emerging from the mind, but because down there in the mind, like we were saying earlier, and Mr. Ego, I don't, you know, our self, it's not even Mr. Ego, it's their own pettiness and selfishness that stop them emerging from the mind as according to insight. You know what I mean? Which can be, it's difficult to see from from the lower levels of the mind what Mr. Insight is talking about. But from the from Firehouse, everything is clear. You know what I mean? That it is the behavior of individual that stop them emerging from the mind. And not only emerging from the mind, but actually going to Firehouse, where you can see things for what it is. You know what I mean? Because, like, when you see things, when Insight show you things are what it is now, like I say, you can't be going about thinking that you are wise. You know what I mean? Because even wisdom realized this. You know what I mean? Even the Fire Lion himself had to acknowledge the fact that no one can't be wise. You can be taught wisdom, yes, no problem with that. Wisdom can always teach you wisdom, you know what I mean? But it is still wouldn't be, you know, it's just you learn it from Mr. Wise. So when you go down there now in Firehouse, is where you meet Is. And is not wise or anything, it's just is. When I mean it just is then what you observe is that if you see a stick, then you don't think it's wise to see the stick. You just know it's a stick. And that is it. And if you see another human being as an example, you don't think of him as anything great. You just know he's another human being. And there's nothing wise about seeing another human being. You know what I mean? And if you hear any human being at all, doesn't matter who is, say anything wise or clever, you know that it's no big deal, because he must learn it of wise. And he's not wise, is he? If you know what I mean. So it turned out as it was that wiseness itself is a state, then isness is a state that just is. You know what I mean? Over there in the what you would call this is not over in the field of the mind I'm talking about, you know. I'm talking about over in Firehouse, then, as we call over there, then the spiritual side of things, then, because the mind is I think the mind went into some funny operation and split itself up into many different departments, if you know what I mean. So it's a bit confusing over there as to what is what and who is where and what. But over when you manage to actually go to Firehouse, their confusion finish. You understand? Over there is one see everything in the oneness that it is. You know that what these humans are calling God is one, because now you've seen the one. What is? You know the earth is one. You see everything in oneness over there, you know. The universe, what you call the universe, the beings that are in the universe, and the oneness that all these beings come from. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where, you see, this universe, it is endless, but it doesn't matter how many beings are in it or where they are dwelling. You can only know what is. And if you don't know it, then you just don't know. It doesn't matter where you are in the universe, you know what I mean? Because it's one is. One, well, let's call it, instead of confusing people then about is, because sometimes, let's just say this is called God. You know what I mean? But sometimes I have to dodge away from using that word God, because many people are uptight, because they're always thinking about a man. You know what I mean? So let's just say this is that I'm on about is God. What you call God then? Mr. Know-it-all then, you know what is. And there is nothing beyond is. You know what I mean? So that's why our search come to a halt at the 9th house. Because at the 9th level, there is nothing beyond is. And is the one, and the all, and the everything. So at that level, we cancel out any teachers, including the Fire Lion himself. And any great masters of the past are present, our future for that. there is no master apart from the one that is. So and all these who are trapped in the mind, you know, the one is with them right there in the mind, but they are not paying any attention to the one, because outside of themselves they find like I tell you, great joy in sexual pleasure and drinking lots of alcohol and watching stupid games, making lots of evil weapons to kill one another, rape one another, going on with pedophilic behavior, molesting children, going with their own children. All men are going with their granddaughter's age, you know, saying it's a, you know, it keeps them young. All women are going with young boys who are their sons, saying it's a toy boy. So this kind of sickening disease that the human being is suffering from in this time, you know what I mean, can only be cured by the fire from firehouse. Because let's face it, people, then look around you, right? And think of all the atrocity and evil and wickedness that is going on this planet. You understand? Now, do you really believe that this would be happening if human beings understand their potential or had a grip of the senses, as we would say in England? You know what I mean? But the way that human beings are behaving, but they're behaving in such way because they probably think they're going to get away with it. But trust me, you're not going to get away with nothing. You can't. This universe has laws in it. But the way that you are behaving now, it makes me sick to be a human being. Trust me. I don't know how I can bear to live amongst all these evil, vile people. Where you see people they having arms expo, they call it, a thing, where they gather up the latest weapons to sell. Weapons of death to destroy people. And they're showing it and telling you, and the way where they make the guns, the people are applauding, and the ministers that the people elect to govern them are the ones that are championing selling arms and weapons to kill other human being on the planet. You know, this is sick. But this is the sickness that I'm saying now, that has, I reckon, that has driven the fire lion to reach the other side, to get some understanding and to get the cure, to cure human of this. I cannot find the word sometimes to express how the soul feel about the degrading way that we are behaving as human beings on the planet. You know what I mean? Some of us, like I said, we come here, we think life is just for us running around having sex. How degrading. Every day I buy 2 papers, like I tell you, just to do the crossroads in them. But it's all with naked women all over the papers. You understand what I mean? It's sickening. I seen a picture there, they saying, oh, Madonna. And she's 53, and there's a picture of her in the paper showing her nipple on stage, dressed up in some kind of freakish kind of clothes. But what is and the people are thinking that's exciting, you know, and some of them are saying, oh yes, if you have it, flaunt it, you know, she's 50, and then it's absolutely sickening. But we are at a stage where we idolize those who are pumping depravity into our kids and into our mind, because those ruling elite people, they are the ones who have control over the music industry, the television, the newspaper, so they can put and promote who they want. But have a look, people, at your so-called celebrities, or even you young people that are in the world today. Have a look carefully at the people who you are idolizing. Be those people Lady Gaga, Rihanna, Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these kind of false people who do not know themselves, who sing lyrics. If you listen to the words that they're singing pure stupidity. Music without any sense, music for gullible people. But they get well paid. You know the reason why they get well paid? Because they keep a lot of people gullible. You know what I mean? And then when they go out, you have the gullible people running after them. Oh, can I have your autograph on your shirt? You was not born to run around another human being looking for the autograph on a shirt, hoping that later on you might sell it and get some money out of it. You shouldn't be running around these idiots. These are the very idiots who are contaminating our youth's mind. These are the people who we should chase away. Our so-called celebrities, you understand what I mean? When you look at those who are making movies, yeah, they're in Hollywood, and all these actors, what they claim are actors, and they are great actors. Acting what? They acting a lot of shit. I'm not saying on the other occasion you don't get a genuine movie come out that try to say something, but very few movies are doing that. The majority of movies are just crap. Been pumping your mind to keep you sedated so that you don't wake up from out of your slumber, human beings. You understand? It's time for you to stop swallowing up a lot of these crap and to stop chasing after celebrities. I would like to swear in this reason, but I'm not going to swear in this reason. But I'm saying though, it is time for us to stop idolizing other human beings. They only like us. They're just full of shit like me and you. You understand? And the only reason why they are in fact what I would call pop idol or movie idol or whatever, it's because they are carrying out a job for the system. You know, they don't know. If you get to know these people and talk to them, they are confused soul. They don't know who they are. Because what they are doing is not right anyway. And it's a depressing thing to be acting out things which is against your own will and your own conscience. So these people usually end up ill. They don't know who they are. They end up doing all kind of weird things because they are going against themselves. But the thing is, they're not only going against themselves, they encourage a great mass of society to follow them in this idiotic business. You know what I mean? So I'm appealing to the youths of today to listen carefully to what these people are singing and what they're saying in their lyrics. You know what I mean? And what you're dancing to. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these people, like I say, they're depraved. They're not honest human being. You know what I mean? That's why they have to be singing. All of the women now have to be showing the panties when they're doing stuff. You know, why can't you just sing? What's showing you, like they would say in England, your knickers got to do with it. Or your leg. You know what I mean? But like I say, human beings are falling so far down into the pit. I call it the pit. You know what I mean? That in England they say your behavior are deplorable. I would, if I had more vocabulary in my range, I would use some more word to describe the disgusting level to what human beings have fallen with their behavior. You know, and the fact is now they're also enjoying this behavior. The more ridiculous you are as a human, the more they'll admire you. You know what I mean? So people will do outrageous stuff just to get noticed. You know what I mean? Just walk about with no knickers or walk about with one breast out or anything. You know, a woman knows that if she bend down, she's in the newspaper. Cameraman, and you know what I mean? They will do anything to get noticed because the ego is running rampant. You know what I mean? So everybody is egoistic. And if you are not, if they meet anyone who is not egoistic, they don't want to know you. So what they want to know now is anyone who is egoistic like themselves. So they go and follow an egoistic preacher or an egoistic religious what they think is master. Everything that they do. The politics is egoistic. The money business is egoistic. The religion is egoistic. The sexual behavior is egoistic. The games that they play are egoistic. Everything in life has become one big egoistic business. You know what I mean? And you know that the ego doesn't know what it's doing. It love and hate itself, so it could even destroy itself. You know, it kill. It's just one madness. But this wasn't how God created them. Like I said, don't call it God. This wasn't how the energy, the one energy that bring forth life then, bring you about or make you come about to be. You've just been tricked into this. You know what I mean? You just not been, like I say, understand that you are a fish who can swim in the mind and swim in the spirit. Egos kept you locked in the mind, so you don't know that you have a spirit anymore. You won't even believe that you have a spirit. You understand what I mean? Or you have another side. And you let the ego convince you that, listen, you might as well cause as much destruction within the mind, you know, as you can, because when you finish, you are finished. There's nothing more to you. Understand? So life has just become one big egoistic game. The more egoistic you are, the more popular you are. You know what I mean? The more, if you come from the spirit or you speak anything from the spirit, the more ridiculous they think that you are. Because they ain't going to listen to nothing, you know what I mean? But whether you want to listen to nothing or not, just like I said previously before, it's like the television, I think it was called Mono. It's now gone on to digital. Understand? So the fire lion is telling you in this time that the situation in life is going to switch from mono to digital. Or if you want, from positive to negative. You know what I mean? And it's like, if you want to get ready, you get ready. If you don't want to get ready, you stay where you are, because that is life. You know what I mean? But coming back to insight, like it said, then the mind is actually the mother of beings then. You know, your mommy. Something like the earth is your mom, you know what I mean? That's where you have to grow from. Where you have to emerge from. You know, so the mind is a female then, if you want to put it that way, a woman, you know what I mean? So if you don't, that's why I keep reminding people, both male and female, that we are male and female. You have a mother and a father, vice versa. So you know what I mean? We have that, it's a principle from the original principle of what insight was showing, how the original force divide itself into two. Yeah, but still one, if you understand what I mean. Into two, but still one. Because that two now receive light from that one, and they work in unison, you know, like a yin and yang, mommy and daddy and those kind of things. So that's why we have then what you would call a spark. Then let's call it a spark of the original 1 and 2 within us. But we just seem to remember one, if you know what I mean, which is the mind, forgetting that it was 2. You know what I mean? 1 split into 2. So now we are operating just I like would say, when we was fishes, you know, them fishes was a lot. Some fishes was just swimming one way, you know, they had completely lost. That's how they lose themselves first. When they was in the sea, they lose their other self. It was only the Piscean fish who managed to retain this 2 fish business. But even the Piscean fish was confused, because didn't know where to swim. You know what I mean? So he spent most of his time still swimming in the mind. Only the odd one who managed to slip out. You know, one like the bad fire lion, he managed to slip out. You know what I mean? But it's not done regular, you know what I mean? These things are done by rare fish. You know what I mean? But going back to that's what insight is saying, that you know, you have to go to insight to actually see what is. You know what I mean? And that's how things is down there. So that's how we getting the cure for the mind. Are now seeing the problem of the mind, what caused the problem of the mind. But the mind don't have a problem really, because the mind is perfect. You know what I mean? Well, that sounds like a riddle, but it's no riddle. But the mind hasn't got a problem. Just like the spirit haven't got one. They are in their original creative. You know what I mean? The problem is with the son and the daughter. You know what I mean? Yeah, because now, as according to insight, we are the offspring of those two. That's why we carry their trait, the son and the daughter. So there's nothing wrong with mother and there's nothing wrong with father. If you know according to insight. Because insight see things different. Way beyond what wisdom would. Wisdom would sit and reason, you know what I mean? Insight does see it. You know what I mean? Then after you see it, you pass it down to wisdom and we can reason about it, you know what I mean? But as according to insight, no, that's how it is then. That those primal forces, as he would call it, we are the offspring, you know what I mean? And the mind, then, you know what I mean? Because the mind is perfect in its, you know what I mean, super duper mind, you know? And it is perfect, and so is the one. You know what I mean? That's perfect. But we are the sons and daughters. Mind you, because of ego. Ego kind of tried to say that it was only him, you know. But that's on a lower level where he, in the land of ego, he kind of cancel out the female part of the runnings. And so you will find here on earth where ego is reigning, that the female principle, like I've reasoned before, has been trampled underground, and that the male dominate. You know what I mean? That's why they fall into so much ignorance. You know what I mean? But I'm talking here now on the higher primal forces. You know what I mean? The higher primal forces, male and female. And because we are children of those sons and daughters. So I think what I was saying now, so down in ego they only have the son. That's why they say God have a son. You know, but in the higher order of thing you have son and daughter. Or husband and wife. Whatever combination you want to put. And these are the two that keep balance. Just like in the higher regions, those are the powers that balance the universe. Mother and father. You know what I mean? So the offspring now is supposed to balance themselves as shown by the primal force. You know, when you see this, you will know that this is true. Insight is the one that insight us into these matters. You know, and because you can't argue with insight. Because like I say, when you reach 9th level, you ain't going anywhere. You just is. You know what I mean? And I don't know, like I said, the people within the mind then, because at the fire lion is showing you this. Well, I know this. Insight will show you this. Wisdom will show you this if you are riding in the outer flanks of wisdom. You know what I mean? But don't forget we speak in even beyond the range of wisdom. You know what I mean? Where things just is. You know what I mean? So, and that beyond the range over there now, it's the fire lion is like we'll be telling the human beings now that you are in the mind. You know what I mean? I don't know what level of the mind you are in. You know, because the mind have many levels. You could be in on the level where you don't know nothing. You could be on a level where you are completely blind. You could be on a level where you are beginning to inquire. You know what I mean? You could be on a level where you started long time to inquire and search, you know. And you could also be on a level where you are now enlightened and understand the lower levels of the mind and all those kind of things. You know what I mean? And you can gain wisdom within the mind. But what the fire liner is saying now, this is beyond wisdom. This is where wisdom and those things can be gained in the mind. But what we are talking here now, you have to go to the spirit. You have to know the Father, if you want to put it that way. Women don't get offended, you know what I mean? It's just a terminology. If you want to know the energy, you know what I mean? You have to go beyond the regions of the mind. You know what I mean? To the land of the super duper. I mean, the mind is a super duper, you know. That's why I'm saying you don't need to go to the land of the spirit. The mind, you can get enlightened in the mind. Wisdom is there, you know what I mean? Knowing is there. Knowing drive right through the mind. So train go right through from bottom to top, you know what I mean, and extend over into the land. These are just for I don't know. Some like I said before, some souls are rebels, you know what I mean? And they like to do cross-border patrol, as it was, you know, test out a few ground. So I'm one of them souls who is a cross-border patroller, if you know what I mean. I like to explore things, because at the end of the day, I say this universe look as if it's endless to me. You know what I mean? And because I'm so crazy, I started to think to myself that this universe is also within. So instead of exploring out there, I started to travel within. So I find out that you can, you could have actually gone very, very, very far within, because it's endless. You know what I mean? So I've been traveling a long time within. You know what I mean? To reach the stage of the firehouse, where I am now, to see things as it is. You know, so when you see things as it is now, like I tell people in previous reason, everything in the creation is one. So the human beings that you see on this planet, who are telling you that they are different nationalities and all this business, are just confused. And just like I'm telling you now, you'll be able to see this great confusion in what they call the Olympics. And because they will all be running for what they claim is their country, and this will get them, the people of what they think is their country, very excited and patriotic, you know what I mean, locking their mind up in a lot more idiocy. But in Firehouse now, you see clearly that the earth is one, and you see that the people on the earth is one. Okay, they have different bodies and different hair and eyes, but that is just how the body is. Because beings are not body, they are spirits. Understand? And the spirit have no color. It's the same, you know. If you should take away the body, you would reveal the human being. They're looking the same. But they are claiming to be Jews and Arabs and blacks and whites and all kind of things. In their confusion, you see, and they get confused now. They don't know that they are getting confused because of the very fact that they are not behaving correctly. Running around sexing and indulging in too much alcohol and telling lies about drink, hating one another, being greedy, you know, setting up money business, and all this thing that they set up on the earth is the very thing that keep them blind. Understand? Just like I tell you in previous readings, they're so stupid. Everybody, if they never set this money business up as an example, everybody would be rich. If you all learn right, I say to you, idiotic human beings who are don't want to use your own brains, yeah? But if you just follow the example of ants, they work in a commune together and they achieve everything that they need without any money. For Christ's sake. Yes, for Christ's sake. No, adults are supposed to be smarter than animals. Much smarter, they claim, clever. They claim that, as according to the biblical story, that God created, or maybe even Islam says God created man to rule over the man, because he thought man was so glorious then and clever, as according to them. Sorry, and I've said this before, but I'm repeating again. So if they are so clever, why do they have to live with money? When money is only bark of tree and metal, why can't you live, right? Because all the resources that you need to live is here on the earth. It wasn't money, like I say, who go and dig anything out the ground. It's a man. And if it's a machine, it was a man who made the machine to do it. So you don't need any money. And if you never had this stupid money, right, everyone would be rich. Because there would be no competition for nothing. And everybody will work. Because God has given everybody a talent. You know, so that they can utilize the earth as a commune of beings for everything possible that we need to live life. But you make some Mr. Ego it was, trick you with money. And even though, and create an imbalance so that only some people can have money and some can't. Take for instance then, how idiotic they've become. I'm supposed, when it happens, some of them probably even applaud. You work in a bank, one man work in a bank, yeah? You have the tillers there, they probably have them on about 6 quid an hour or something, eh? They work all year for the little 12, 15 grand. Higher up there now, you have one man, eh? His bonus would probably be about 2.3 million. Not his wage, just his bonus. Why? How can you live in a system, right, where one man is getting... What extra work did he do now? And why wasn't that 2.5 million shared out to the lower people on the till who sit there and collect money from customers? How come they don't get any of it? How come this bonus go to one man? So much bonus. You know, but it just show you the corruptness of what they think is money. You know, it's just a way of keeping you ignorant. This is what they've used to keep you ignorant. This is the excuse. If there was no money, then people were making gun to go and... Which idiot would come up with the idea of, oh, let's make gun and sell it to them so they can kill each other? You know what I mean? Nobody with any sense would do that. What you think is your government, like American and British, because they make most of the weapons. They're the one going around the world with their secret agents, CIA, MI5, I don't know what they are, you know, and undercover, inciting people to fight against each other so they can sell them weapons and kill, because it's a money-making business. To kill people and sell them vile weapon. And you always see them advertising the latest killing weapon as if it's something glorious. And some people are proud of the fact that their country are making weapons to kill other human beings. You know what I mean? I hope you're proud when you have to reap what you sow on the other side. Like insight is saying, you ain't going to die, you wish you're going to die. And you who are making you can't even say the innocent man who is manufacturing these things in the factory, because he's been so gullible and brainwashed into it. He have to do it to survive. But all those who are willingly on this planet, because some of them have already passed through to face their judgment, but all you who are sitting in your homes, yeah, enjoying the fruits of your evil doings, you know, like they're making money of dropping bombs on other people in faraway country while you are sleeping in yours at night time. Not one of those evil that you have done. Every evil that you've done is registered in the atmosphere that you did it, and you will pay for every single one of these evil doings. All of you, this is why I'm saying at this time, because don't forget, like I'm saying, I'm speaking as a fire lion. You know, this is those of you who are hearing it, because it's a new way of man talking. You know, it always difficult for the old to accept the new. So none of these religious bigots will accept the truth anyway. But I am beyond what they are talking about, because I am the fire lion. You know what I mean? So as a fire lion, I'm saying then that in this particular time when things is going to change or things is changing, it is time for you to abandon ship. You know what I mean? This money business and this banking business and this religious business and going on pilgrimage and all them kind of thing is a load of bullshit. You know what I mean? It's time for people to know that the real truth and what truth is. It's no secret. You know, don't believe them about no secret in no Mason and all that. The only secret Masons and Illuminati have is the evil that they are doing, and they're hiding that from you. The real secret in life is for you to know yourself. And you can do that easily. They can't stop you. All you have to do is to be honest to yourself and listen to your conscience. And then you'll be able to see clearly who is tricking you. These evil men in suit, you know, who give each other medals, you know what I mean? And when they send your kids to die in war, and they tell you that your son died to defend this country and all that. Defend what country? This is the planet Earth. We should all be living on the planet Earth as one. What are you doing defending your country? Are you crazy? Defending what? A little spot of the earth. Who you terrify? You let them implant it in your mind that the whole world want to invade you. Invade you to go where? Everyone on the planet want to live in peace and have a little bit. They don't want to invade anybody. They are sure they would like to travel and meet them, and you know what I mean. And common people do this. Common people get on. It's just those elitist people, the devil, who are driving things, who are putting this into the population that, you know, oh, we have to get some submarine and some this. Cause who is the threat? Who is the threat? Take away the weaponry from the Americans tomorrow. All of their weapons. Take away all of the weapons from the Russian. The military man. Let's say the military elite in this world. If you take away all their weapons tomorrow, stop, just take away. Cease. Ask the people in Russia now, when this military is not around, ask them if they want to go to America and attack anybody. Ask the people in America if they want to go to Russia to no, they just want to live in peace in their own place. Or visit each other and see what's going on. The Chinese don't want to the majority that is, you know, I'm not about military, because the majority is not, don't even have no military, nothing. It's just these ruling powers. If you take them away, no one on earth would, the great majority of people don't want any war, and they would vote. They would actually, if there was a chance, then say voting, even though voting is no war. No fight. It would be over. It is the military elite that are bullying the people, forcing. Even if you look in these times, then I see when they have this Occupy business starts. This is how you can see how who your friends are when it get hot. Then say in England here, they had the Occupy movement. I think they was heading to occupy the stock exchange, something like that. But they get diverted and they occupy St. Paul Church. Now, St. Paul Church, for those who know, is some big cathedral in London, you know what I mean? And because it's a big church, it make a lot of money daily. Lots of money. They've been making money long time. That's what they are, money making. But this was a good opportunity, because when it happened, I say, yeah, God let this happen for a reason. Because look at this now. They was heading to oppose the bankers, but they couldn't get there, so they stopped. Then you could say, to a shelter from the religious man, the man of God, who is St. Paul. So the breaks were a while. But what did St. Paul do? I think he was more worried about the money that he was losing in it. Yeah, I think all the preacher man now, instead of him appealing to his conscience, and seeing that the cause of these people are just because the system is an unjust system, a system that he should be speaking against as a religious figure. But no, he don't do that. He don't give them the support. I think they organize and go to court to appeal to man to get rid of the people. These are the people who are working for God, you know, are claiming to. They go to their man and ask man to stop the people. And they themselves are not saying anything about what is happening within the country. You don't hear them speaking out against anything. Because they are hypocrites. They are part of the system. That was a perfect example where you should see the hypocrisy of religious people as it was. You know what I mean? These men in cloaks and gowns. You know what I mean? You should chase them out of there. They are just there to keep you suppressed so that you follow the system. You know what I mean? That is why if any crown in affair, you see the queen or the president or anything, you have religious figures there, because they bless the system. They are in league with the system. In fact, I reckon they used to run the system before you know, the political men take over from them, you know. But they are the same, because they are in league, you know what I mean? They are the devils in disguise. You know what I mean? The real ego, I don't know how ego got them that way, but they are ego soldiers. And they're so egoistic that they firmly believe in what they're doing. Because when ego got you under a control, you don't want to know. You see what I mean? If ego's got you under his control, right, you don't want to know. And when you hear knowing, you don't want to listen. You understand? Because you are a believer, you know what I mean? You believe in the blood of Jesus, don't you? You believe that Jesus actually come here and died for your sin. And you fervently believe in that, but that's just a stupid belief. You know what I mean? You can't bring belief to firehouse. Never mind firehouse. You can't bring belief into a man's court and tell the judge that you believe. You get chased out. You know what I mean? But that is how stupid we have become. And how numb, you know. But we wasn't, we are from the original spark. We're not supposed to be like this. You know what I mean? We are supremely intelligent beings. Understand? We are supposed to log back on to the Father. You see what I mean? And balance ourselves. You know what I mean? Get control of our mind so that the mind can receive light from the Spirit. You know what I mean? In other words, then we're not making it complicated. You know what I mean? The mind then can receive light from conscience. Or if you want, then breaking it down later, listen to your what you call your better self. You know what I mean? And that will help you balance. You have to create a balance in life. Without this balance, you're going to be blind. And the balance is easy to show. Like I've shown this before, I have even written about it. Just imagine then that it's like fitness. Everyone must know there's no way you're going to get fit if you just sit and you ask. You know what I mean? You have to get up and do training, and there's various amount of training you can do: running, swimming, diving, press up, all kind. But whatever you choose, you have to do the exercise. At first it might be a bit painful, but persistence soon cancel that out and everything become easy. And this is how your body get fit. Come into the mind. Well, this mind ain't going to get fit unless you exercise it. You understand what I mean? And you have to exercise it, like I say, not like how you exercise the body. You exercise it by what we call self-discipline. So, there is nothing wrong if you was a killer. But now you have to learn not to kill. There's nothing even wrong if you was a racist. Say you was a racist, a murderer, whatever degrading, whatever we was then, yeah? Let's say when we're going to train the mind then, we have to cease from doing these activities. We cease from lying. We cease from being greedy. We cease from being prejudiced. We cease, but at first, like I said, the ceasing might be hard because you're used to doing that. But persistently desiring to cease then will eventually get you to a position where you cease. And then everything the mind become fit. No, when the mind is fit, just like when the body is fit, it can run very fast then, like Usain Bolt. Because he's the fastest man in the world at the moment. You know what I mean? When the mind is fit, you can become the fastest man in the world as well. If you train it correctly, that is, because the mind is very quick, rapid, you know what I mean? But you have to train it. And it's good conduct that trains the mind. So this good conduct now will train the mind to be fit. When the mind is fit now, as we would say now, and healthy, it is like a full moon, because it can now receive the light from the one. The is, but like in further reason, I always call that one the terrible and dreadful one, Rastafari. But because we're speaking to English people and all type of people, don't want to really confuse the issue with Rastafari all the time. So now we move on to is. You could say that. There's, like I say, words are not, doesn't matter up here. What we're talking about, the energy then, or the intelligence that is within this universe. So, what the fire lion is saying, there's a definite intelligence. Because he's met this intelligence. Obviously, people don't, because they are so locked up in their mind, they find it hard to accept such teachings. You know what I mean? You know, alright, as an example then, I always say to myself, I must be a madman for sure, because I say to myself, brethren. When I say brethren, I mean friend. So I say to myself, brethren, you know all these things from you was 27. Okay, you haven't got no qualification in the arts and things, but surely somebody would offer you a job to teach. At least morality to you other human beings. But believe me, from I've been talking, no one has ever taken me serious and thought that oh yeah, you could be useful. We'll give you a post in the university so you can teach others how to be decent human beings. I've heard of beings getting 60,000 a speech for talking a load of shit. Well, maybe they're telling people how to make a load of paper, but it's still a load of shit. And they get 60,000 a speech to talk garbage. You know what I mean? But they would never offer me, not even a penny, to speak to them. So I find that when I say to myself, I find human being amazing, that they love those who can speak bullshit, those who do not know. But if they meet anyone who knows, because they are knowers in life. But when you meet these knowers, they will tell you that no one wants to listen to them really, or take them any serious about anything that they say, because they just don't like knowing. It's as if knowing reminds them of what they are doing, you know, or tell them that what they're doing is wrong, and they don't want to know that what they're doing is wrong, because they enjoyed them wallowing in wrongdoing and ignorance and blindness. You know, they're quite happy to think, oh, there's no God. You know what I mean? They say such a thing, there is no God. They are quite happy to be intoxicated, I say, or drunk and idiocy, and just evil and vileness, and like I say, I can't find the word. But while I'm saying that, you know, I'm cursing human beings like that, you know. I know we are all brothers and sisters, like I say, we're all one. So I have to keep repeating and in reasoning that when you hear me cursing how vile and dirty and stink and nasty and horrible human being has become, I am not cursing the soul of the human being, but their behavior, you know, their actions. Yeah. So I don't know if you can maybe you have to go to Firehouse to see how somebody could be cursing somebody but not cursing them at the same time. You know what I mean? We're not I am not saying that these human beings are any less worthy than me, who I am cursing. They are as worthy as me, or as anybody in the universe is worthy. Because we come from worthiness. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that my brother seems not to remember, or even not to care. And you can't find anyone to care. You know what I mean? You don't find many people who care passionately about what is right and correct. Oh yeah, they talk about it and pretend. But I'm not about pretense. You understand what I mean? I am not about a God man who run to his book and they're reading and talk about Daniel say this and that, man. I am about passionate men who knows and can talk sense to people. You know what I mean? Men who will say, listen man, you have to stop lying and stealing. You know, that is what is blinding you. Show people the reality of their own action. I don't want no man to come tell me about Confucius say this and Plato say this, and they keep quoting some other. People are going to school to study Plato and this one and that philosopher, and they're studying this wise man. You shouldn't be studying no wise man. When I say you shouldn't study them, you can read if you want, but don't make it a career. You know what I mean? What is in a career for you? You're a wise man in your own right. If you just simply live honestly. Every man is a wise man or a wise woman. God created everybody wise. You know, he never hide anything from anyone or give anything special to anybody. It's all a lie. It's ridiculous. You have been, your birthright then, as I would see it, is been hidden away from you. And you've been given gain, sex, all manner of distraction, hate, all these kind of pretty, all those are what are keeping you from your eyes opening, showing you that you have another life or you have another side. You know what I mean? And that you should pay attention to this. And that if you don't pay attention to this, you are going to be sorry. You know what I mean? Because that's how the universe works. Karma, you have to pay for the things that you do unless you make correction within your own self. Because every man has done a wrong. You know, I don't know no being who I no one has ever lived without doing wrong. Otherwise, if you did that, you would be a fool. Because you have to do these wrong. You have to know the negative. You won't know anything, will you? You'll just you won't be a real soldier if you never know about wrongs. If you never made any mistake in your life. If you never feel pain and agony. You know what I mean? If no one ever leave you and you are, you know, if you do all them kind of things. So you wouldn't be a ragamuffin soldier. You wouldn't be able to know yourself properly. You understand? If you never did wrong. So it's not about the wrongs. That this is not about perfection, because the origin we are not the original is the perfection. The isness is the perfection. What we are just in a stage of striving to be better people. That's what we are supposed to do, and that is enough. Striving to live better, and if we was doing that, we would be better people, and we would be far more advanced than we are. We are backwards because of the fact that we are living like idiots, and that we are governed and ruled over by evil. Evil that is always saying, like I tell you, America itself. I always refer to America because he's the bigger devil, but England here is a great devil itself. It produces America, you know what I mean? But America now is taking the lead in role in the devil business in the world, with Britain here follow closely by, you know what I mean? Dropping bombs and killing they kill a lot of people in Iraq. You know, all a place called Fallujah. You wouldn't like, I bet, you know, those people who drop the bombs there, we should bring them there to live. You know, all of you who drop bombs in Fallujah, you know, I've seen it on my television. But people forget about the after effect now. But all those who make the bombs, and all those who drop them, and all those who give the orders to drop them, you and your children should be moved. Well, your children have nothing to do with it. I shouldn't say that. But you should move to Fallujah. You know what I mean? And then if you have any kids down there, you'll see what happened to them. Then you'll be able to understand what you are doing on the planet to other human beings. You know what I mean? For the sake of money and military might and power. So yeah, I reckon in Iraq, I'm not defending any of the evil on the planet. I'm not saying Saddam was a good man, but they managed to kill in whatever time they spend down there. If Saddam had killed say 500,000, by the time they deal with it, they must have killed 1.5 million. Because people are still dying. They will not stop dying down there for a long time. From the after effects of what these murderous Americans brought down on them for the sake of getting control of their oil. And they kill off a lot of people in these Europeans. They're all in it together. Anywhere America go, you will find Australia, Canada, Britain, France, Germany, Spain. You know, it's like a real evil club to dominate. So they kill people everywhere. Anywhere America decide to kill people, you will find them there. So you'd find them in Libya, killing people. They kill a lot of people in Libya, and you know, they're killing a lot of people in Syria now. And they are saying, "No, let's go in there and kill some more people," and they're willing to traverse the world and kill. But like I say in previous reasoning about America, everyone always seemed like they want to champion America. But America is, like I say, was laid on the foundation of blood, of the red man, murder. You know what I mean? These places are not, the history are not good. You know, they drew karma themselves for the evil. You know, they have what their ancestor passed around there, like, and they still carry on the evil and the domination through those kind of things. So America is a really vile, you know, egoistic country. You know what I mean? It's very, very egoistic. You know, it's a sick place. You know what I mean? When I say it's a sick place, you know, America is a nice country. Yeah? I am not talking about all the American people, like I repeat and reason before. I am talking about the government and the military industry of America. The killing machine of the planet I'm talking about. When I say America, I'm just naming the head of it. It's a really vile. Yeah, even if they have place like hell, down at hell they couldn't be killing as much, and they couldn't be as cruel as those up in the American system. And these are the system around the world as well, here in Britain, because they have killing machine. They're a killing machine as well. You know what I mean? They just like to smile as if nothing's going. They're very deceptive. You know, they say hello and stab you behind in the back. So they don't want to show their hand in all the killing that they are doing and around the planet, and all the death that they cause through their secret agent work and all these kind of evil that they are involved in. You know what I mean? Because they are expert at evil as well. Yeah, the British are expert at evil, and when I say the British are, I'm not on about the normal British man here on the street. I'm on about the elite that you normal British man won't get in, that run the system. You know what I mean? They are expert at camouflage. You see, because the British is good at presentation, they give that to the world, dressing up smart and looking prim and proper. But behind all this prim and proper is because I tell you about how evil works. Evil was different from wickedness. So evil can be very charming, and evil ain't going to directly come and kill you or stab you. No. Evil will be killing you and will be having a meal with you. You see? And then send somebody to actually do the evil deeds, and then come to your funeral and cry. So it appears, that kind of evil appears as if it's doing nothing. If you know what I mean. And he's laughing and joking. And no one can point a finger and say, oh, that it was him who killed that. No, you won't see his hand, because he is presentation himself. Yeah, so they are very clever at that, masking their evil deeds higher up. And, you know, so like I'm saying, they write up if sometimes they use a term in very crude and say they are up the Americans' ass. Yeah, exactly, right up their bottoms. You know what I mean? And everything they do, the American, like we say in England, just wank it over the rest of humanity, and giving them this, telling them that they have to have this thing that we know in Firehouse as hypocrisy, the disease, and then they claiming that it's democracy. But it's not no democracy, like I say, it's just hypocrisy, and no, it doesn't matter what they do, it's against the law of God. You know what I mean? They're trying to rule the mind and govern the mind, but you can't rule the mind and govern the mind. You know what I mean? And without the light of the sun, you know what I mean? Without the sperm of the sun, the mind cannot get pregnant, and the son will never be born, or the daughter will never be born. So that's why they're failing now to actually be born. You know, because you have to, like I say, come to it's like giving birth. You have to birth yourself from the mind. But they're not. A lot of them will die and don't achieve this process. When I say bury yourself, I don't, like I tell you before, you won't escape the mind like the fire lion. Excuse me, but you will gain wisdom and understanding within the mind, you know what I mean? But you won't be able to, until the gate is open properly, I suppose. It may never be open, I don't know, I can't say, you know what I mean? I'm just saying that you won't be able to see, from the mind you won't be able to see is. You'll know what is, you know, like when I'm talking about is, but you'll, is actually like, say, like I show you, when you look at a cup, you see the cup. So that means I have seen is, I have seen the one. You know what I mean? Now, you won't find anyone in the mind doing that or saying that, because you cannot do it from the mind. Understand? You cannot see the one from the mind. It was only done when the fire lion take a flight out of the mind, because I am a cross-border terrorist. You see what I mean? I like to experiment and try out things. I am a curious soul. So, you know, curious souls go where they are not supposed to go, and I end up, you know what I mean? So I end up in Firehouse then. Although I think it was more than curiosity. I have a love for the truth. Have you heard of the truth? In my term, the truth is what is right and correct. I think it was that burning desire for what is right and correct. In England, we would say, I am a sucker for what is right and correct. So I was a sucker for what is right and correct. And that is what brings me to Firehouse. And when I was a sucker for what is right and correct, I stick to it. And it doesn't matter what anybody has done to me. I don't even care. I don't remember what people do to me. They do a lot of things. Hold me and no one beat me up anyway. I don't tolerate that kind of business. I mean, I'm not into that. I'll defend myself that way. But people hold you and sometime alright, I did have some of the paper, but other people always take it. You know what I mean? But I'm not bothered about what they take. Where they going to go with it anyway? It's only paper, you know what I mean? So a lot of things happen, but you ignore those things when you go into Firehouse, because the truth is greater than I don't know, it's just a love, you know what I mean? You just love it. Going to Firehouse is not like, I would say, trying to get to heaven. No, we're not trying to get to heaven when we're heading to Firehouse. And we're not exactly looking for anything when we go to Firehouse. We're just looking for what is right and correct. Because that is like when you listen to music, you're not looking to get any reward out of it or nothing. You just love it, so you just dance to it. So in Firehouse, we just dance to the rhythm of life. You know, it's not like, say, oh, you want to be powerful and you wanted some magic, you know, some spiritual powers to do something, like spark the Red Sea and all that thing. No, there is in Firehouse, all ambition and everything come to a cessation, as they would say. You know, there is no, it's a land where there is no ambition, because everything is. So why would anybody want to have ambition and want anything and want heaven and all this kind of thing that they are thinking about? They might want that, of course, or they desire that. But as a fire lion, there is no desire for any such thing. You know what I mean? We kind of see things on the simple. You know what I mean? You have some nice music and, you know, burn your herb and relax yourself and enjoy life. Well, just like say some similar thing to what Rasta is doing here now. If you point the camera on Rasta, can you see how relaxed Rasta is here now? That's how you should take it easy in life sometime. You know, just relax yourself and enjoy life and flow with the rhythm. Cause right there, no, Rasta is into a rhythm. You don't see him just curl. He's just curl and, you know, sleep is nice. So that's how we should learn to relax ourselves like that. I'm not saying we should curl up and sleep like Rasta, you know, but flow with the rhythm of life then. You know? So you become part of it and you're not stressed. But to flow with the rhythm of life, you have to live with the rhythm of life. And you can't do it when you, like I say, you are under the control of these little sexual weakness, money, lying, hating, greed, black and white, and all. You cannot be in the flow of life that way. And I'm telling you for sure, you're wasting your life here, Don't forget, like I'm telling you, you have another life that they haven't told you about, you know what I mean? This life that you are living on earth is not the only life. There's lots of life, then if you want to put. Life is endless. You understand? Why would you want to live here on earth, right, and go and live in ignorance? You know what I mean? It's not as if, say, I'm telling you that, I believe that there is a life after death. This is when you reach firehouse, no, there is no believing in things. You know these things. It's simple. We don't reason about things in firehouse. But how you know? No one would say how you know it. You just know that's how it is. You know that the memory is put into human beings to record their deeds. You don't bother go thinking, you believe this and all these kind of things. You know that's how it is. You can say to every human being, your memory that is in you. Okay, your scientists have never explained it to you because they haven't been to firehouse. They don't know what it is. It is a chip. By the creative energy, it will come from that spark, and it put this chip, just like a camera. He was the first to start of cameras and video and those things. He put the chip into every being to record their deeds. He never just put it in one man, so just in case, if it was in me and it was in you, Marius, then memory would know what you was doing, would it? You would have do some things and memory would know. But that cannot be like that. Because the original, what is, has put it into man and woman to record them. Why do you find that so hard to believe when it's a fact? Just like I'm telling you, conscience, which you call conscience, which is the original force and power, is within you. But you don't believe this. Or you ignore it when it's talking to you and telling you not to do certain things. You won't believe this. But I am not a believer. I know. So I don't have to believe that, is the Father, what they would call, let's call it the Father. Is the Father in man. I wouldn't believe any such thing. I know it because I'm a fire lion. That means I know it beyond the range of knowing. And I couldn't multiply the amount of time that I know it for certain, but a lot of trillion, billion, and lots of zillion and billion, trillion, zillion, lots of them. Certain that the one is in everyone who I'm talking to. Everyone who hear this reasoning that I'm spitting from firehouse here now, I know that the one is in you. I don't believe it. I am the one who have seen the one. That's how I know. That's how I can be so confident and bad. That's how I can tell any man, close your Bible and your Quran. Go and get anyone of what you would call wise man. You know any wise teacher? Krishnamurti or the I Ching and anyone. If not, if you cannot find any wise man, get some wise book. And bring the wise book. And I'll show you that I am beyond the range of books. Not me, I. You know who I is? I don't know if... How long you say we have, Marius? 2 minutes?
Like 5 minutes.
Well, we can keep on rapping then. We have plenty time to rap on. I said, I wonder then if you know who I is. This is the one which is beyond the range of wisdom, even knowing itself. Knowing don't know what this one know. I don't know what this one know, if you know what I mean. So don't get the mistake and think that the speaker is the one. The speaker is not the one. The speaker is beyond. The speaker is just what you would call reflecting a little bit of the light of that one. But the fire lion is not the one. The one is the all. Beyond knowing, beyond all business, beyond everything. Understand what I mean? There's nothing beyond the one. But at the same time, there's no teacher beyond the fire lion. Living or dead. Understand? That's how you are when you get to be the fire lion. I don't know how I come to be the fire lion, but that's just how it turned out. So if you are a fire lion, there is that penetrate to the depths. Then in this time, man has been growing up a long time, so it couldn't have been done before. At that period of history. So it can't have been done by no one before. So that's why I'm telling you that fire lion cancel out all prophets. There is none of this. Even me myself, who is saying I'm a fire lion, I am nothing. I'm just a man who come out of my mother, like anybody else. There's nothing special about me. At all, or any man, even the man named SAG, we're all, when I say, we're brothers and sisters, but there's nothing super duper about us. And there is no reason for any one of us to be glorifying each other. You know what I mean? Because no man has ever been wise. It's going to take a long time for this to soak into people's head. And it won't soak in because you're idolizing wise men. Or what you deem to be wise men. But if you know what wisdom, well, not wisdom, if you know what the eye was, because the eye is beyond wisdom, the eye put wisdom into the mind to educate us. But if you know who is I was, then you would realize that, there is no wisdom. You know what I mean? I know this because I was taught directly, not even by wisdom itself, or even by knowing. That's why I'm the fire lion. They never teach me nothing. I was taught by the one. The is itself. You understand? That's how it was the fire lion who persuaded wisdom and what them call that fella, Fearless and all them man to make the journey to Firehouse. They was terrified. Yeah, so when you reach Firehouse then, as a Firehouse teacher, like I'm saying here now, even though you're not accepting what is being said, I know why people want to say, I point this out before, the blacks won't accept that iron is the baddest fire lion that ever come out of a woman. They won't accept because they have been so brutalized over the centuries as nobodies that they wouldn't accept, oh yeah, we can be somebody, yeah, fire lion. And the whites won't accept either because they are too superior. In their superiority, they think that I have no intelligence. They think that when the universe was when the original spark give intelligence unto all the beings, that somehow he leave me out of it just because I'm from the deep Congo down there in the bush in Africa. But that's a total misconception of the mind. Understand what I mean? I have come to cleanse the mind, because I am beyond the mind. You know what I mean? Mind is my friend still. Because I'm in Firehouse then, we can, when I say cleanse the mind, I am not the one who is going to cleanse, but I have to use the word I. But I don't want you to make him say, oh, he sounds superior saying, I am going to cleanse the mind. Conscience then is going to cleanse the mind. I just work for conscience, if you know what I mean. Like when you work for somebody, when you work for a boss here, they pay you wage, do everything for you. I work for conscience. I work for what you would call the original force. So yeah, sometimes I might sound arrogant, but there's nothing arrogant about what I'm saying. You know what I mean? It's just that sometimes, like I say, I have to drive the truth into the human beings. And it might sound arrogant to them. But they are my brother. Why would I want to be arrogant? If you are arrogant, you will never reach anywhere anyway. You could never be a fire lion. No fire lion can be arrogant. It can only sound arrogant to those who have not yet emerged from certain departments within the mind. But the fire lion is always speaking in love and oneness. And the fire lion come to direct his brothers and sisters home then, as it was. You know, like a shepherd. You see this like a shepherd with a sheep. So I and I is just spreading pure one love. But my words can be harsh. And a lot of humans are going to get upset. Well, Jesus' words wasn't harsh. And from what I hear, they slaughter the poor fella. Hang him up and nail him up. So you see that no matter how you try and tell your brothers and sisters what is right and correct, they would rather attack you still and say, oh, shut your mouth, you don't know what you're talking about. But they'll rather go and listen to some important people, what somebody tell them the people was important. They say, oh, he says that, so it's okay. And if somebody noted in a book, say it. Just like when we were saying and about these, I don't know which one of them is which, Dawkins or Hawkins. 4 minutes.
1 minute.
One? Anyway, we just have 1 minute. We'll go into this Dawkins and Hawkins business another time about this idiot about his God delusion. You know what I mean? And when he's the one who is deluded. Well, so that's what I mean. We could even and these human beings. What you want to do? I hear them say this Mr. Dawkins. Yeah, he write the one about the God delusion. He was the one that run an advert in London. I think it was early last year saying they probably is no God. Show you how stupid you are. You should never have run an advert saying there probably was no God. That means you are doubting your very own words. You should say there is no God, but you can't say that because you ain't got no bloody sense. You couldn't prove it, could you? If I was a boxer, Mr. Dawkins, I'd knock you out in the first round. Anyway, on that note, we are going to fire out from the firehouse with my cat sleeping beside me here in the firehouse, Rasta. And until we're ready to spit some more fire. From now on, I think I'm just going to spit hot fire from firehouse rather than spin any tales and stories. You know what I mean? So I'm going to fire out and wind down from the firehouse. Fade out.